Hello to my friends both near and far. I am Ashley Corin with the National Portrait Gallery, and I'm so excited to welcome you all to another edition of our program called Introducing, where we share stories of the fabulous people who have helped shape the United States through our portraits. Now today, we're going to talk about this portrait of composer and songwriter Irving Berlin by the Pack Brothers Studio from the early 1910s. In this photograph, we can see a young Irving Berlin in a large room. He's sitting on a piano bench next to a very large piano. His legs are crossed, and his left hand is in his pocket. Now behind him is a fireplace and mantel with vases. And we can even see some portraits hanging up on the wall behind him. Irving Berlin is considered to be one of the most important songwriters or composers of all time. Now, a composer is a person who writes music for singers and musicians. During his time, Irving Berlin did both. This portrait of Irving was taken really early on in his career, years before he would write some of his most well-known songs. Now, I have to be honest with you. His name actually isn't really Irving Berlin. He was born as Israel Bailin in Western Siberia, Russia, in 1888. Now, when Israel, known to his family as Izzy, was around 5 years old, his family moved to the Lower East Side of New York City. His family was a part of a large number of Jewish immigrants that had moved from Europe to the United States at that time. Now, unfortunately, like many children of his time, Izzy was expected to work to help his parents pay their bills and for their groceries. He sold newspapers in his neighborhood and actually worked at a local meat market. When he was around 14, Izzy actually left home and decided to make it out on his own. He wasn't quite sure what to do, but there was one thing that he loved to do the most, and that was sing. He then decided to pursue a career doing the thing that he loved the most. He sang in saloons and music halls, and even taught himself how to play the piano to enhance his talent. He started composing songs and getting his music published. Now, back then, there was no Spotify, no YouTube, no radio stations, no television, nothing. So if you wanted to hear your favorite songs, you actually had to go watch people perform, or you would have to buy something called sheet music, which is a handwritten or printed piece of paper with musical notes on it. And through the sheet music, you'd be able to play your favorite song on a piano or another instrument. Now, a spelling error on the sheet music to one of his songs actually listed his name as I Berlin instead of I Bailin. So, Izzy decided to run with it. And from then on, Israel Bailin became Irving Berlin. Now, in 1909, he got his big break when he got a job as a songwriter for a big music publishing company, and his career soared to new heights. For the next several decades, Berlin was a really popular figure in music. He composed works for Broadway, films, and even a jingle for an American president. His songs were known for being straightforward, lighthearted, with stories that anyone could relate to. Now, one of my favorite Irving Berlin songs is called "Oh, How I Hate to Get Up in the Morning." But that is just one of many songs that he composed. Berlin is, like I said, one of the things that he's most known for is his work in Hollywood. He produced music for grand and colorful musicals, starring amazing dancers and actors like Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Bing Crosby, Judy Garland, and even Marilyn Monroe. Some memorable songs include Cheek to Cheek, Love, You Didn't Do Right by Me, and of course, the song that some of you are singing now, I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. In addition to those songs, Berlin was a first-generation American who was very proud to live in the United States. He used this pride to create very patriotic songs like God Bless America, which was written in 1918, but really didn't become popular until decades later. Now, this patriotism led to other things too for Berlin. During World War II, he wrote a Broadway show with an all-soldier cast called This Is the Army. This Is the Army toured the United States and Army bases all over the world. Berlin donated proceeds from the show to the Army Emergency Relief Fund. Because of this work, in 1945, Harry S. Truman, then president, awarded Berlin America's highest civilian award, the Medal of Merit. After World War II, Berlin would go on to compose more shows and eventually retired from show business in his 70s. Now, what I love about this portrait is that, it shows a dignified young man who is full of promise, but really has no idea just how high he will soar. Now, sadly, we've reached the end of this week's Introducing. I hope you learned something. I did too. And we hope to see you back next Wednesday for a new story.